Hi, I'm Greg Funderburg, and I'm your host for the Let It Burn series, sponsored by Rise Chattanooga. And today we're inside the beautiful establishment of Davis Wayne's in Cambridge Square in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia Wood.
And I'm Antonia Poland.
We're co-owners of Davis Wayne's located in Cambridge Square in Ooltewah, Tennessee. And we're proud sponsors of the Let It Burn series with Rise Chattanooga. And Antonia is going to give you some info about when we're open and how you can find us.
We are open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., as well as Fridays and Saturdays from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. We have live music with our artists in residence on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights starting at 6 p.m. Make sure you come and join us. We are located in the fabulous Cambridge Square in Ooltewah, Tennessee, 9454 Bradmore Lane. We are the only building that is all white with blue shutters, so you can't miss us.
Eat Sunday dinner with us every day, except Sunday
and Monday.
Hello everyone, and welcome into another edition of Let It Burn, sponsored by Rise Chattanooga. And we're in the beautiful establishment of Davis Wayne's in Ooltewah, Tennessee. And I'm sitting here with my friends Antonia Poland, Cynthia Wood, Nicole Brown. And you all have something in common because each one of you have been featured in Essence magazine. Congratulations. So
yes,
Antonia and Cynthia, starting with you first, you were just recently featured on the cover was, a famous football player, and then if you flip over inside, you guys are you're on the cover on one of the pictures, Antonia.
Right, I sure am.
full page.
Full page. Yeah, that's what's pretty incredible.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting.
So-
And it was a surprise for sure.
When you talk about a surprise, what has this been like to see yourself featured on a magazine that has been in many households, especially in the Black community, for many decades?
It's actually like when I was a child, I would see Essence magazine, and you would think, oh, one day you see all these people that are in it, and I'm in it. That's incredible, to be honest. Because you grow up, you didn't see many images of yourself. You saw Essence, you saw Jet, you saw Ebony, but that's all we had. So to be in that means a whole lot.
And when you talk about being in something like this is a Juneteenth juice, and Cynthia, this particular juice, which we all have here on the table, is something special here at Davis Wayne's, but it's even special to you.
It is. Our feature was our Davis Wayne's Uncle Jim's Strawberry Daiquiri, and it's named after my Uncle Jim, who is a civil rights icon and activist. And so we were honored to be included in this edition with Juneteenth juice because the red signifies the bloodshed of those who went before us, who fought for our freedom and our rights as humans. And so we're just happy that we could be tied in such a way.
Nicole, just right before the pandemic of 2020, Uncle Jim was here at Davis Wayne's for an event, and you got to meet with him personally. What was that conversation like to see a man who fought alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in this establishment, and to see them featured in the Essence magazine with this beautiful drink?
It's like seeing a real life superhero that has paved so many lanes for so many of us, and we take it for granted of everything that he has fought for, and he's in his 90s and he's still fighting for us and leading and guiding us. But my goal was to come here that day and get some good food from Davis Wayne's, and I was trying to get scrambled eggs. And my colleague pulled me out the line and said, "Hey, Nicole, you're up next to interview Reverend Lawson." I'm like, "What? I gotta give up the scrambled eggs?" But yeah, so there was no agenda of me interviewing him, but just to have that dialogue on his perspective and from what he experienced from many years ago in the 60s and some of the things we're still experiencing today. And that's kind of heart-wrenching for me because of someone who literally boots on the ground, literally, risking his life, literally getting kicked out of Vanderbilt, died. And so how have we, and you look at a report card status of being, impressing Mr. Lawson, Reverend Lawson, what's our grade? How are we doing? And so to see Antonia and to see Cynthia feature his beverage, what an honor What an honor to educate the current generation. You didn't have to, name a drink after him. You could have called it your own drink, but thank you for honoring him in the beverage, and thank you for having a mocktail version. I truly
That's right.
appreciate that. But can I take a sip?
Yes, you can.
Go ahead.
Why don't we all take a
Yeah,
sip?
Uncle Jim doesn't drink either. So.
Cheers,
he
cheers,
might.
cheers, and cheers.
It's really good. What is it like for both of you as entrepreneurs to see more people are taking this holiday as serious as other holidays on the calendar?
I think it's wonderful. I think it would, like with all other holidays, it takes time for things to catch on. But I think the more that we celebrate it, and the more we discuss it, and the more we talk about it, and give the proper honor and respect to it that it deserves, I think more people will catch on. So for us, we understand that change is inevitable, but we also understand that change takes time. But that doesn't mean that while it's taking time for things to change, we don't keep them important things ever present in the minds of people so that that change can take place.
And when we talk about Juneteenth, I know we talked about you guys being entrepreneurs here in the Chattanooga area, but Nicole, you also were featured in the Essence magazine many years ago. And when I think about Juneteenth, in your article, you talked about financial prosperity and how you can get yourself to a better place, which is so important when you think about entrepreneurship, financial things. When you think about that article, what made you want to be open and honest with the public and helping them get to some type of financial prosperity?
I like to share my lived experience, and so at that time we would do a debt diet, meaning for a week you couldn't spend any money, not even on chewing gum, not even on parking, for handling a meeting. And so that was an initiative that I kind of created with a group of friends. And one of the friends is a comedian and had an interview with Essence. And she was talking, well, I can't spend money, I need to go buy something, but Nicole's going to get us. And I'm like, so fast forward, she gave my contact to Essence. They was like, what is this debt diet thing that you're doing? I'm like, what? How did you? And so that's how I was able to share my lived experience and how much I was able to save at that particular time. So it was really exciting and the cover of the magazine, it was, I forgot the young lady, I forgot her name, but it's the gold issue, and that was just wonderful to be in that particular January issue talking about how to be frugal. And everybody that knows me, like, yep, that's her. She wouldn't let us spend a dime. But at the same time, that's how you start having your economic drive, sharing out to next generations on how to be frugal, which maybe you should change the name from frugal to something else because it's not cool and hip to be frugal. But that was just a wonderful experience. And so to sit here, my friends, and being in the current issue, 2023, a thriving business, a business that lasted past the pandemic, 2 businesses in here, this is just very the thing to have in front of our residents and for our nation to see this national coverage.
And I think that's amazing.
But one thing I do want to touch on is that when you think of educating people of this current generation, they don't know what Juneteenth is. What is like your 30-second elevator statement on what Juneteenth is?
I think Juneteenth is important because just like Independence Day is important, African Americans all of us did not fully gain our independence, even though the Emancipation Proclamation had been in place until Juneteenth, until June, when those in Texas were finally told that they were free. So there's no way we can celebrate true independence without celebrating both of those days.
And the 2-year delay of finding out you're free. And so I think that's something that's just encourage all of us. We are free. We can actually have businesses. Oh, did you know you can have 2 businesses in one business? You know what I mean? Oh, did you know that your children can come and work at the business so that they can have a legacy? Those kind of nuggets of opportunities to share.
And the one thing that we always say, especially because our children work with us, and we have lots of other young people that work with us, is that generational wealth. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be a billionaire, but owning things, passing things down, having a legacy. Generational wealth is taught. If you're not teaching young people, if you're not putting it out there to them that these are the possibilities that you can have. If you do these types of things, you can end up with this in the end. If they don't see the way, if you don't set the path for them, how are they going to know?
You know, when you speak of the path, Antonio, you and I were talking one time, and you were telling me that your children are also investing in stock.
Yes,
At
sir.
our age, you know, we were not thinking about stock because we were not taught that. But you are teaching that to your kids, and we're not just talking about regular. We're talking about Nike, Apple.
Right. All the things that they wear. So if you don't invest in the things that are important to you, and I'm not saying go out and invest in stuff that you don't know about, but invest in the things that you know about. And that helps, so then it ties in to say, okay, if I'm gonna wear Nike, at least I can have some stock in Nike. If I'm gonna shop at Walmart, at least I can have some stock in Walmart. All of those things make a difference because at least when you're spending that money, it's coming back to you. If they make profits, you make profits. So it's an easy way to invest and to learn to save. And it's not just with my own children, it's with all of the young people who work here. We teach them how to, about financial literacy, how to save money. We're working with 3 of them on purchasing homes. We talk about credit. So all of those things make a difference. And just because you make $1 don't mean you're supposed to spend that dollar. So.
And as we
Amen.
wrap up, I like that. I love that.
Amen.
As we wrap up, Cynthia, when you think about Juneteenth, what is the biggest life lesson you've taught your kids when it comes to being who they are and going out and making a difference in the world? Because the great thing about you guys, your last kid just graduated high school.
Ooh, yes, empty nesters, hallelujah, won't he do it? That's for real. I think one of the things that, well, there's 2 things that we're working on with our young people and with the young people that are around us in our lives, is teaching them to learn to start living from a we mentality instead of an I mentality, and for them to understand the true meaning of perspective. Those 2 things are those wisdom nuggets that I want them to take away, because no man is an island. We had at the holiday season, we were playing one of those
Heads up.
games that you have to guess what it is, and it was island. And Antonia said, "No man is," and none of them could get that. And so that let me know right there.
Because they didn't know what it meant.
We have to focus. We have to they didn't know that phrase. And then when we told them what it was, they didn't, told them what the phrase was, they were like, well, what does that mean? And so we're working for them to understand that life is about we. It's a collective. It is an us. There's one planet. There's one race. There's, one way for us to move, and that's forward.
And that's together.
And that's together.
Right.
We can't do it by ourselves. And so that's important. And then perspective is important, because everybody has one. Everybody has a perspective. And if you get stuck in just your own, then you limit not only your possibilities, but you also limit the possibilities of others, because they won't ever understand you and you won't ever understand them. So I think those are the 2 most important things we're working on with them right now. And I think if you kind of live by that principle, which in essence is the golden rule, then holidays like Juneteenth, we'll celebrate them and we'll acknowledge them, but they won't be necessary anymore.
Wow. And Antonio, final question. Hours, operations here at Davis Williams, so we can come get some of this good food.
That's right. Please come and see us. We are here Tuesday through Saturday from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. and then Fridays and Saturdays from 3 to 9. And we do have live music, and our artists in residence play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday starting at 6 p.m.
Sounds good. Congratulations to all of you ladies featured in Essence. Final thoughts, Nicole?
Oh yeah, I want to sing a freedom song while we're sipping on this. What's the secret recipe?
Love.
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 I like that.
All right.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.